countryside of Hong Kong is breathtaking, and its natural ecosystem is rich in biodiversity. Today, 5 young people, including Jamie, Benjamin, Ryan, Joanne, and Skylar, together with the veteran beach cleanup activist Stanley, have come to Nam Phong Kok, located in Sai Kung, which is also known as Hong Kong's backyard. But why are there no flowers, but only plastic debris in this backyard?
The task of today is simple. Clean up all the garbage lying on the beach.
Oh, you must be kidding me.
Sounds like Mission Impossible.
And we also got to separate out the plastic bottles for sorting, tallying, and record keeping.
Isn't Nam Phong Kok just the tip of Sai Kung? How come so much garbage ended up here? Where on earth did it come from?
Well, fact of the matter is, the world produces about 9 billion tons of plastic every year, which only about 9% of it had been recycled, leading to about 8 million tons of plastic waste enter the oceans every year, which form the world's 5 great garbage gyres. Therefore, Hong Kong has been receiving marine debris from all over the world.
Whoa, check this out. This bottle's been around longer than me. We can't go on like this.
Around 60 to 80% of the marine debris coming from the rivers, plus some were blown into the seas by the wind.
You saying some garbage isn't intentionally being thrown in?
Some of the garbage may come from boat parties or other aquatic activities. Mismanagement is also part of the problem, like this piece of styrofoam, which is most likely coming from a nearby fish raft. We mustn't ignore the human factors.
Just how serious is it? Endless plastic bottles which never seem to lessen in number. Our capacity for managing plastic waste is far below the amount of plastic we produce. After categorization and tallying, they have picked up more than 1,000 plastic bottles within just 4 hours. Their first beach cleaning lasted until nightfall. I wonder if these young people feel daunted at all.
Jeez, it took us so much effort to clean up this beach. Wouldn't it be filled with garbage again in no time? Yeah, can't we invent a machine to clean up the rubbish?
A friend of mine who actually modified a vacuum cleaner to remove styrofoam from the beach, but it broke down quickly.
None of this plastic waste is from us. Isn't it unfair for us to do the cleanup?
The situation is even worse in some developing regions. Developed countries export waste to these regions, which is then passed to shoddy local factories to handle. It is common to find illegal burning or illegal dumping, which cause a series of environmental problems. It is actually an environmental justice issue.
But can just cleaning up the garbage really tackle the environmental injustice that has been done?
Don't be too frustrated. I have dedicated myself to beach cleaning for 13 years. You shall not underestimate your personal effort. In 2012, a cargo ship was hit by a strong typhoon, and 7 containers were blown into the sea. They were filled with plastic pellets. The following day, Lama Island, Lantau Island, and many sea shores were covered with white snow. We mobilized more than 1,000 volunteers to clean up as many of those beaches as we could. You have to remember that we are not alone. There are more and more allies, not only from Hong Kong, but also people from the mainland, Taiwan, and even the rest of the world, are joining the cleanup actions. There may be no end to the collection of marine debris, but if you really love this place, you should do everything you can to protect it.
You won't believe how exhausted I am.
It's hard to imagine that someone would carry on cleaning up the beach for so many years.
Hong Kong's coasts are really beautiful, and we really need more people to protect them.
We need to cherish the beach! beach. Same for the oceans.
And the environment!
Defend the ocean. I'm so tired.
Let's use less plastic!
Every day, people around the world work tirelessly to clean up plastic waste. What is the driving force behind them? Kitty had been visiting different beaches with her kayak to do cleanups for the past 4 years, whether it be rain or shine. Today, she set off from Sai Kung with Benjamin and Skylar to continue on her mission. I love nature, so I moved to Sai Kung. At first, of course, I romanticized about life here. It's supposed to be beautiful. I never thought it could be full of garbage and abandoned fishing nets. My dreams were shattered. I used to imagine myself wearing a bikini and having fun here at the beginning. But after what I have seen, I have a calling that I need to clean up this place. I see colors everywhere while kayaking out. Why? Because of the plastic bags. Abundance of plastic bags, ice bags, and there's lots of broken pieces of styrofoam. Teammates and I can only pick up the large pieces, and there isn't much we can do for the smaller pieces scattered like fine sand. It's quite disheartening and heartbreaking, because I know that any plastic breaking down in nature will become microplastic.
Microplastics come from plastics. The word micro refers to plastic pieces with a diameter of less than 5 millimeters. They can be found in many environments, including coastal, sandy, rocky and inshore environments, the open oceans, freshwater environments such as rivers, marshes and mangroves. They are even found in fresh air.
Professor, why are we taking samples here?
Here is between Tingkok and Lung Mei. Located in Tolo Harbour, microplastics and garbage washed ashore can usually be traced back to a local source. Because Tolo Harbour is a rare inland sea in Hong Kong. You know, plastic is elastic. It's not plastic if it flattens when clamped. You know it's plastic when you hear the snap.
Why are there so many microplastics in the sea?
Plastic is actually a byproduct of petroleum. It is derived from petroleum. Plastic is cheap precisely because it is a byproduct. No extra technology is needed to extract it. Why are there so many microplastics? That, of course, is because we use a lot of plastic. In terms of volume, the use of plastic has surpassed that of steel, which is now the second largest in the world. Plastic is the most utilized material by human beings. I'm sure you've all seen the pictures. Large pieces of plastic waste can cause entanglement to living creatures. There are creatures that would ingest plastic by mistake. Because plastic is small in size, it looks like some of the food eaten by various organisms in the oceans. So many marine organisms ingested microplastics by mistake. Having eaten the plastics inadvertently, because of the porous surface on the plastic particles, they would easily absorb organic pollutants. When a creature consumes plastic, the polluted plastic would get into the food chain.
Any ways that we can tackle the plastic pollution problem through the current technology?
We can solve the problem via 2 directions. The first direction is how to handle a crisis when an accident has happened. Reducing waste at the source is far more effective than dealing with it afterwards. This depends on whether we can reduce the use of plastic. I believe this is how we can reduce the amount of microplastics entering the environment in the long run. and it's an important behavioral change.
After paddling for so long and cleaning up garbage, I don't have much energy left. Kitty, what makes you keep kayaking and cleaning up the coast?
Today marks my 290th time in 4 years that I've kayaked to clean up the shores, clear fishing nets, and save the mangroves. I have paddled to the point of exhaustion. Sometimes I ask myself, why do I keep doing this? I was initially frustrated when I found a lot of abandoned fishing nets, and I saw a lot of marine creatures entangled in them. I have saved horseshoe crabs and even lobsters. Nature shouldn't suffer this pain. I have the ability, and also have found people who share the same belief, to do this together. Fortunately, there are such groups of passionate people in Hong Kong. Every moment, you have to display your greatest positive energy to combat your negative thoughts. A lot of my comrades feel the same. Sometimes we would support each other by saying, "Hold on, take a break." Yet most of the time, we depend on sheer determination. It gives me a little satisfaction while seeing the environment clean after our cleanups. When you put love out there, you would get motivated in return, and that's the driving force.
Did the professor share anything when you visited the lab?
The professor told us the truth. It seems that our cleanup actions won't make much difference.
Well, that's not a reason for us to stop. There are still many people in Hong Kong who haven't given up.
Exactly, just like Stanley and Kitty. Hey, why don't we come out for more beach cleaning?
We might as well learn to dive since we still have time. Let's try doing some diving cleanups.
Wow, that's a good idea. When? I want to go, I want to go.
I want to go too.
You are the first group of my students who learnt to dive for the purpose of doing garbage cleanup. But you should know our cleaning up will never catch up with the speed of producing it. I hope you will share this experience to others, especially with your friends and family, to convince them to produce less marine waste, because it's merely impossible to clean up every piece of underwater garbage. I hope you can all spread this message.
We finished the first dive of the day. The harvest is rich. Thank you for your hard work. Now let's see what debris we collected this morning. Let's examine it together. One of you please help document our collection. Others, please sort the marine debris according to the categories I told you about.
The significance for divers to clean up marine debris is more than just cleaning up, but rather collecting data on the type, quantity, and location of the debris for promoting environmental awareness and related policy changes, thereby reducing the amount of plastic waste entering the sea.
Whoa.
It's a fish.
It was in this jar and it's still moving.
This looks like a paint can.
It's probably living in it. Really?
What is impossible in reality? Like the example I just gave. The case that impressed me the most was that I found mostly all items for daily life on the seabed near a village. Depending on the location you go, you will find related traces of human life. We visited a diving spot close to the coastline of Sai Kung about 2 weeks ago and found a bunch of abandoned fishing nets. It implies there are many recreational or commercial fishing activities near this diving zone.
What are you doing?
This is garbage that has just been collected by professional divers.
These are ghost nets, which are often seen at the bottom of the sea. It's like a black hole that strangles marine creatures.
It really is.
There's a crab tangled here.
Be careful. Is it still breathing? It's moving.
Great. Check to see if it's still entangled by the net.
You're free.
Hello, Joanne, Ryan. Feeling tired after first time cleaning up debris while diving?
I'm exhausted. We've picked up a lot of garbage today. The water was so muddy that we couldn't see very well.
I was born on Lummer Island and growing up in the 70s. At that time, I witnessed the clear waters of Lummer Island with my own eyes, along with the rich biodiversity. I saw manta rays. They jumped on the surface of the water. There were many seagulls near the coastline. The fact is, the water quality is deteriorated, and that really concerns me. But we shouldn't just give up like that. Start from the basics. Make small changes that are good for the environment. Keep practicing ocean conservation.
Hong Kong is a really beautiful place. We are all in this together. Why would someone think that the lives of other creatures would be less significant than of our own?
I really love the oceans and nature. It would be a shame if we allow plastic waste to keep encroaching them.
Although I know I can't clean it all up no matter how hard I try, I believe there's still a lot in this place that's worth us protecting.
Even if what we are doing seems trivial, I still want to keep trying.
Now I understand why people say, you may not be able to change the world, but don't let the world change you.